The woman suddenly noticed that the shirt her husband was wearing, the same shirt that had burned in the fire, was now perfectly fine and being worn by her dead husband. Seeing this, the woman was completely terrified because just a few days ago, she had seen in a dream that her husband had come back. But in reality, her husband had died 7 days ago. She thought maybe it was just a bad dream, but as soon as she turned around, she saw a ring placed on the bedside table. At first, she thought it might be her own ring, but she was already wearing hers. Then she saw it was her husband's wedding ring, the same one she had seen burned in the fire. Out of fear, she immediately ran to her daughter's room. The daughter said, "Papa has come back. He played hide and seek with me and kissed me on the forehead." The woman explained that maybe the daughter was missing her father, and that's why she felt like that. But the daughter replied, "Papa is still here." When the woman turned to look, there was a shadow standing behind the curtain. Gathering courage, she opened the curtain, but there was nothing there, just an empty room. She put her daughter to sleep and thought maybe both mother and daughter were in shock, but when she went back to pick up the ring, it had disappeared. Just then, the wedding photo hanging on the wall fell down. The woman was scared, but when she checked, she saw that the nail had just come loose. There was no sign of the ring. The next morning, the photo was back on the wall, even though she hadn't put it back. And when she came back home after dropping her daughter at school, she saw that the glass of milk had turned into coffee. Only her deceased husband used to drink coffee in that house. At that moment, a man from a lottery company arrived and informed her that her husband had won 10 lakh rupees. But to claim the money, she had to go to a specific address at midnight. That was the same day her husband had died in the fire. When the woman went to that address, all she found was a graveyard. When she looked back, everything had disappeared, and the woman became even more frightened. Just then, her friend arrived. The friend thought everything was a joke, but the woman was sure that her husband had returned. She said her daughter had seen him too. The friend suggested installing a camera. At night, when everyone was asleep, the woman felt that someone had come in, but when she checked, she found nothing. She looked at the camera recording. There was a shadow behind the curtain by the window. Terrified, she screamed, "Who are you? How did you come here?" She called her friend. The friend looked at the camera, but only saw the woman in the video. The woman said, "No, I saw the shadow." The friend explained that maybe it was a mental issue, so they thought about taking her to a doctor. The woman began to suspect that maybe something was wrong with her health. Fear, guilt, and confusion spread throughout the woman's relationships. She tried to explain things to her daughter. Her friend also tried to explain, but the atmosphere in the house became heavy. The woman was left alone, surrounded by fear, strange shadows, and complete confusion about what was real and what wasn't. Everything turned into a web of uncertainty.